Hello everyone, welcome to Lucie's Vision. I am Lucie. Today's video I'm doing an update on this icon, this legend, this special gem, a diamond, a pure soul, so kind and beautiful in every way, Marilyn Monroe. So I did a video back earlier this year, and this video that I did was like short little clips on my TikTok, and this is when you know, when I was first like channeling a lot of messages regarding celebrities, and I was just channeling a lot at that time, and even now it hasn't stopped. But she was one of the first person that I channeled. There was a lot of message coming to me about her, and I had a lot of visions. So if you guys go back to my channel, my YouTube channel, and also my TikTok, you can see those videos. And I dropped a lot of a lot of hidden messages that was hidden from the public that I got to see and I discover and decode in my visions. One of the biggest things that I discovered is that Marilyn Monroe wasn't your average Joe. She wasn't just a normal person that many people may consider her to be. She wasn't just a sex symbol, which I feel like that term, that statement discredit her. She was so much more than that. She was someone who's comfortable in her sexuality, someone who represents feminine energy in its finest. She was everything to a lot of people, and she truly was a kind soul. I don't like the picture that they paint of her because, based off my vision, she was more. She was an angel that many people did not know. One of the things that I did see, and I discovered, is that she was an oracle, just like me. But I don't know what type of oracle she was, in as well as me. Apparently, there's a different type. But that was something I discovered in my vision. I also discovered that she had two children. Mind you, I do see other timelines in parallel universe as well. So I don't know what I was seeing was a parallel universe of her actually having two children, or that she actually had two children in this reality that many people didn't know. But I know that she has two children regardless. She has a boy or son and a daughter. And not only did I discover that, I also discovered that she is the goddess Persephone. She is Persephone. And you guys know that I've been sharing, hidden messages regarding the gods. I said that I have visions of different beings, and I mentioned them throughout my videos. Occasionally, I will mention them, and she was one of the person that I had a vision about. Persephone. I had a lot of visions about who, like, they keep referencing Persephone, but I didn't actually see Persephone until I had a vision about Marilyn Monroe. And apparently Marilyn Monroe is Persephone. She is Persephone. Not only is she Persephone, she's actually married to Hades. So they had those two kids that she actually have belongs to, that's their children, the son and the girl. But the vision that I had about her, I don't know whether it was a parallel universe. I don't think so. I think it was this reality. She had a son, but her son was like biracial. He was white and black. Her daughter, I'm not quite sure what she was. She could have been Italian and white. I just know her daughter was like, you're a Caucasian of some kind. I always keep saying some kind, but the reason I say that because there's different types. Um, but I do know that she has two children. That she is Persephone, and that she was an oracle. She was gifted, not just an oracle in like, oracle is like you channel. You could channel messages in many different ways, in different forms. But apparently there's different types. So I guess there's different type of channeling messages in different ways. I just haven't decoded that and learned that yet. But when it comes to her, I feel like she's more than the oracle. She's like a goddess, obviously, and she has more gifts that many people do not know as well. Just know that she's very gifted and very powerful and very well respected. As that's one thing I will say, she's very well respected in the spiritual realm, um, and in the heavens. Okay, so I'm gonna bring forward new information that I gathered recently about her. But before I do that, I just want to recap on a few things that I mentioned previously earlier this year. I said that I saw something. The vision I saw was surrounding her death. What is being reported, what the public knows about her death, what we what they basically told the public is that she died over overdose, over pills or whatever. But the vision that I saw was that was not the case. She was murdered. Like, she was murdered brutally. She was murdered. I'm going to keep saying it for you guys to get that across your head. She was murdered. She did not die over an overdose. And what I'm about to say, I'm going to say it because this is what I saw. I'm not sugarcoating shit. I want the whole world to know this shit. She was murdered by the FBI, government officials. I said what the fuck I said. That's exactly what I saw. She was murdered by the FBI. And not only that, she has a connection with the mafia. I have not decoded that, but there's a connection with her and the mafia. There's something like I saw visions of her with mafia, the mob, and I feel like the mob had knew about her death. They possibly could have had ties and was part of it of her death. But she does have connection with the mob. I seen that firsthand in my vision. It was like it was as if I was there like when I was seeing this vision, because this vision felt different than all my vision, because I wasn't like, you know, I went to bed at night and then woke up. No, it was like I had like a power nap. It was just weird, and it just felt like I was there, like I astral traveled to the past. That's literally how it felt, and I was in this room with these. I think they were at a baseball game or some type of game, a sports game. I don't know. I don't know if it was baseball. I think it was baseball, but we was in some type of room, a back room. It was all types of different people, like the mafia. I saw her. She was sitting down, and I saw a black male as well. I couldn't see the black male's face, but I saw his like body and whatnot. But I was focusing on her and her reaction and how she was. She was very self-aware. I will say that about her. Like, she was very observant, um, and which people do not give her credit for. Like, they just think that she's just some blonde and just sex symbol. Like, again, I said that belittles her. She's so much more than that. She was very intelligent, very self-aware, very observant. Like, very. That's why she was so gifted. But yeah, I was just watching her reaction. It was a lot going on in this vision, but that I did seen. I did see that like there was a connection with her and the mafia. I just didn't know like how that formed, like how that came to be. I just saw a moment in time of her time. That's it. Um, but I'm still decoding the whole mafia tie with her. But there was another vision that I had about her that I did not disclose with you guys, and I mentioned that on my TikTok. And if you guys go back, you're gonna see me mention that, because I said that I wanted more time to decode it, and I still need more time to decode it because I need more information regarding certain things that I saw. But but I will say today, one thing that stood out to me in this particular vision that I have not shared with you guys is that I saw Tupac in this vision, which is it stood out to me because I'm like, why is he in this vision? Because they are both in two different time periods, if that makes sense. Like, he was born in this, what year was? Hold on, 1 second, you guys. Tupac was born in the 70s, and Marilyn Monroe was born in the 1926, and she died in 1962. Which I'm gonna go back to that, you guys. The whole the day that the year that A said that she died. But Tupac, he died 1996 and he was born 1971. So I just didn't understand in that particular vision why he was in this vision. We was outside. Look at look at me trying to describe it, and I said I'm not going to disclose it. Never mind, I'm not going to disclose it. But he was in that vision, and that always stood out to me. I'm like, why is Tupac Shakur in that vision? And I'm like, I just didn't understand. But it wasn't just them two that, what was happening in that vision that stood out to me, and I was like, it left me confused. There was another person as well, Zeus, but I couldn't see his face. I could not see his face. Every time I have like some type of vision about him, which is very little, but when I have a vision about him, I can't see his face. But he was in that vision too. It was Persephone, which is Marilyn Monroe, Zeus, I couldn't see his face, and then there was Tupac and other people there too. There was other people there that I do not recognize. Okay, but those three people stood out to me. Okay, and I just didn't know the connection with that. So I'm like, what does Tupac has to do with Marilyn Monroe, and why is Zeus here? Like I just didn't understand what was happening. And then fast forward to now, recently I got another message, another hidden message regarding Tupac and Marilyn Monroe, and there was two messages that I got. One, before I get into that message, I would like to say a little brief description of who Tupac Shakur was. Tupac Shakur, you guys know that he was born June 16, 1971. He was assassinated September 13, 1996, so he died at the age of 25. He was a global, well-known artist. He was a rapper, and so much more than that. He did movies as well, and he was born in East Harlem, New York. That was where he was born. As for Marilyn Monroe, she was born June 1st, 1926, died August 4th, 1962, and she was born in Los Angeles, California. And her real name is Norma Jean Martison. That I wanted to mention that her real name is Norma Jean Martison. Because the reason why I'm disclosing their dates of the day they were born and the day that they died, because apparently their age is significant, because of the hidden message that was revealed to me regarding Marilyn Monroe. But when it came to Tupac and Marilyn Monroe connection, what the message was is that Tupac is Marilyn Monroe's grandson. I know how that sounds, but that's the message that I got. I was like, what? Huh? Tupac is Marilyn Monroe's grandson. I'm like, what? That exactly. I'm like, what? Now I have more questions. And you see, I'm still on decode. Like, I'm like, what? So, because if Marilyn Monroe is Persephone, who the hell is Tupac? And remember, if you guys go back to my Instagram live video, I did a video about Nicki Minaj on my live video, and I said that I decode something about who she is. Like she's one of the Targaryens, the Targaryen bloodline, and I said that I had a vision where I also believed I had a vision. It was a vision about the future. Me, a letter tarot reader, and the baby. He's the artist, and somebody else, and that was driving the car. I don't know who they are, but Tupac was mentioned in this vision, right? And what the hidden message I got from that vision, it said that Tupac was Valerian or Valerian. That was the name that I heard, Valerian. So if you guys are familiar with the show, The Game of Thrones, that is where the connection comes from, like the reference clue I got, because what I heard, okay, where I heard that name from, Targaryen and Valerian, I heard it from that show, and also my vision. So I'm like, okay, there's a connection from that show and my vision. So I feel like that show is a hidden message in itself. It's actually a real thing, and people think it's false, but it's not. But with that being said, the hidden message I got was Tupac and his mother was Valerian. And I said Nicki Minaj is, that, Targaryen. So I'm like, okay, so he's Valerian. I don't know much about that bloodline or the Targaryen bloodline. I'm not quite sure like much about it because I only watched the show Game of Thrones, so I don't know like much about the bloodline itself. But I know that was the message that I got. So I'm like, okay, if Mary Monroe is Persephone, who is Tupac Shakur? Because they said that the message I got is that's her grandson. So I'm like, okay, what is going on? Like, this war is like, I don't know. This is getting deep, you guys. Cause I'm like, oh my god, it's like I'm like doing like a whole like diagram. Do you guys know a diagram? You put like the little three circles, like you draw two circles together, and then you try and it has like a middle circle in between. That is exactly what I'm doing. Like I'm like, I don't know what's happening at this point. There's like so much going on, so many hidden clues, so many hidden messages in that show, The Game of Thrones, as well as my vision. But yeah, that was one of the hidden messages that I recently found out. Um, about Tupac and Marilyn Monroe's connection. So there was a reason why I had that vision back then, that earlier this year, when I said that I had a vision of Tupac, Marilyn Monroe, and Zeus. And in that vision, which I didn't disclose with you guys, I didn't share that vision because there was something that I still wanted to code before I share it. But those three people stood out to me and it left me confused, and I had a question. That wasn't the only moment I was confused about. There was something else that raised bells for me too. So I'm like, okay, that was weird. And then fast forward, like in the present moment, it was disclosed that Tupac is Marilyn Monroe's grandson. So I'm like, wow, this is interesting. Well, so I draw in the connection between like they're both were Geminis. Both of them was Geminis when they had this lifetime, when they incarnate in this lifetime, in this reality. Like she incarnated in the 1926, he incarnated in 1971. So there was a difference. Um, so there's a family tie, a bloodline. Like he's part of her bloodline. So if she's a goddess, so he must be a god too. But I don't know which god he would be. I don't know. I'm not familiar with the bloodlines of the. Um, I don't think I don't. I'm not familiar with. I'm not familiar with Greek mythology, you guys. But I do recognize Persephone's name. Like I heard of Persephone, but I'm not quite informed when it comes to Greek mythology or Olympian mythology as well as Egyptian. I gotta get into that. But yeah, Gemini. Okay, they both have. They have. He's part of her family tree, right? They both are Geminis. So yeah, and she's Persephone. I don't know who Tupac is if she's Persephone. Um, so yeah, that was the hidden message I got. The other one was that Marilyn Monroe, she died at the age of 34. But if you guys calculate the day that she was born, which is June 1st, 1926, and the day that she died, what's being reported, it said that she died August 4th, 1962. If that was the case, she would have died at the age of 36. But in my vision, the hidden message that I got was she actually died at the age of 34. So what's really going on? She actually died at the age of 34, not 36. So there's something going on. It's either she already passed away 2 years prior than they reported it, or there's something else. I don't know. Again, I said that she was murdered, so her whole anything that surrounds her death, there's a whole lot of mystery with that. There's a whole lot of cover-ups going on. So what's being reported is not true, you guys. There was so much more to her story. There was so much more to her death that many people do not know. So like, and I told you who had a hand in her death. The FBI. And I wanted to know why. Why did they do it? I would like to know why. Why? I don't know. I have questions. I'm still decoding, you guys, about more about her. But what I know about her is that she has two children with Hades, a son and a daughter. She is gifted. She is Persephone. She is a goddess. She is her grandson is Tupac Shakur. That I know. She was murdered by FBI agents and possibly the mafia. She has mafia ties, where she was incarnated in this lifetime and in this reality, as you say. She had connection with the mob. What else did I discover? There was something that happened in 1804 or something that she's connected to as well. I just don't know. It was something. I had a vision. I had a mini vision early this year about her, about 1804. It was weird. I gotta figure out what happened that year. But yeah, you guys, I have more questions. But obviously, I still need to decode. But I wanted to do an update. There's more. There's more to her story, and there's more to her death. I'm gonna share more as I know more. Hopefully, I have decode many many hidden messages regarding her death, regarding who she is. Well, regarding her story, like what's going on, like why they killed her. Because she was such a pure soul, like such a pure soul, and the way that they killed her, like it was just awful. Like, oh, I know they going to hell if they are not already. They go that, oh God, oh, I know their ass is going to hell. I already know it. That it was a crime. That was oh, I'm telling you guys, like she's very well respected in the heavens. But I'm just gonna leave it there. So Lucie out. Bye. Hey you guys, I forgot something that I forgot to mention something regarding the vision that I didn't share with you guys, and I said that what stood out to me back then when I had it was, Marilyn Monroe, and then Tupac was in that vision, as well as Zeus. I couldn't see his face. There was something else in that vision that stood out to me that I do want to share with you guys, because I keep channeling this message, and I still don't know what it is, like what's the connection, what it means yet, because that's something I have to decode. But I still wanted to reveal it to you guys, because maybe someone out there who may be spiritual may know something regarding this. And I'm going to do my own reading regarding this, what I'm about to reveal to you guys. Bees. That was mentioned in that vision. It was bees and honey. Something with bees and honey. I still have not know what that means, but it was actual bees and actual honey. So what does bees and honey has to do with anything of this? I don't know. And what does it have to do with Marilyn Monroe? There's something significant about bees and honey, because in this vision I said that it was other people in there, and they mentioned bees. It's like something that they wanted with the bees and honey, and something they wanted it for something. I don't know what's the significance of it, but it means something because it's been highlighted, and I keep channeling that message till this day. I just haven't decoded yet, but I just wanted to mention that as well. So that was what I forgot. So Lucie out. Bye.